Welcome to my views and news. Some news stories from Ethiopia. Firstly, Amhara region where operation against Amhara militia members is ongoing in some areas. Limited operation. A road linking West Gajam with Valaga is closed. For the last 2 days, the road has been closed because federal forces have been conducting an operation against Amhara militia members in this area. Secondly, another activist was arrested yesterday while some journalists have been released. And thirdly, Oromia sent aid to Tigray today. Several trucks carrying aid entered Mekelle 2 hours ago. And lastly, some pictures are being shared showing Eritreans who are returning to their country after the start of war in Sudan. Several Eritrean viewers contacted me. They said, Sajid, the Eritrean government is trying to evacuate its citizens, but you are spreading false reports about Eritrean government. I want to say a few words about these pictures. Firstly, viewers, Amhara region, where we know that since last year we have been seeing an operation against Amhara militia Fano. All Amhara Fano militia factions have been disbanded. Their leaders either arrested or on the run, or some have made peace and apologized to the government, to the National Defense Force. Operation is still continuing. Why? Because around 2 weeks ago, there were protests in the Amhara region. Amhara Special Force members, Amhara Fano members, they regrouped. And they're still regrouping. That is why we're seeing operations in some parts of the Amhara region. Details are not being shared in social media, in mainstream media, because these are obviously the operations which could create waves of public uprising against the government. That is why the operations are being conducted secretly. One operation is underway in West Gajam and the other is in East Gajam. In East Gajam, the road which links Debre Ilyas with Valaga is closed. We used to hear that in roads from Valaga to Amhara are closed. Road from Addis Ababa to Amhara are closed by Oromo Liberation Army, by Oromia forces. Now, the road is closed in Amhara region from Ganate city towards Valaga is closed. And here an operation is being conducted reportedly by the security forces against Fano militia, and no one is allowed to enter the area of the operation. Nearby farmers, they are facing problems because obviously the road is closed, so they are facing difficulty in transporting their agricultural produce. In West Gojam, yesterday a Fano fighter was killed in confrontation with security forces. It happened in Durbate city, West Gojam. Fialio Debe is the name of the Fano fighter. So you see that operation against Fano militia, disarmament of Amhara Special Force members is still continuing. 2 days ago, 2 police officers were shot dead in a confrontation with Amhara Special Force members in Central Gondar. They tried to disarm Amhara Special Force members. The ASF member did not agree, did not listen to the command of the police. There was confrontation. They opened fire. 2 police officials were killed in that confrontation. So overall, we're seeing small scale operations in different parts of the Amhara region. So far, no full scale operation ongoing in any part of the Amhara region, but it could happen in coming days. In Debre Birhan, situation gradually coming under control, because 2 days ago we saw that some restrictions put in place around more than a week ago were lifted by Ethiopian National Defense Force. Restrictions on movement of vehicles and people were lifted, but some restrictions still remain there in place. Overall, Gojam and Gondar are going to be the areas, the zones where these operations will be conducted, will be intensified in coming days. Secondly, arrests of Amhara activists or anti-government activists, journalists is continuing. Yesterday, Tesfaye Halemariam was arrested, who is a social media activist known for his social media posts. And some journalists were released yesterday. Three released. Abe Zaidu, who is director, who works for Amhara Media Center, was arrested more than a month ago, I think. He was released from prison yesterday. Then Getnet Ashagre and Aragao Sisse were released as well. So more are being arrested, and those who are in prison, they are being released. The journalists are released. We have been seeing that since last year, that the journalists are arrested again and again. They are then released from prisons. The journalists should also be careful, I think. They should ensure that their reporting is impartial. While the government should not harass journalists, the journalist's responsibility is to cover all Ethiopian conflicts, all Ethiopian issues with the same attention. They shouldn't be biased. But problem is, some journalists, they only speak for a particular ethnic group, and they cross boundaries. No one can deny that. They cross boundaries and they become a tool of spreading of hate. They should be careful. At the same time, government is not tolerating any criticism. Whoever is criticizing the government is being arrested. Thirdly, Oromia Tigray alliance is becoming stronger with every passing day. Oromia is the first region which today sent aid for Tigray. Several trucks carrying aid entered Mokale. Pictures are being shared. Oromia President when Getachew and his team visited Oromia a few days ago, said that Oromia would help rebuild Tigray. Oromia would provide agricultural machinery to Tigray. Then we saw a meeting of Addis Ababa city delegation and Mekelle city delegation. Addis Ababa city announced to support the rebuilding development activities in Mekelle. And yesterday, a delegation of Oromo traditional elders, Abagadas and religious elders like Abu Nisaviros arrived in Mekelle. Abu Nisaviros met with Getachoreda Tigray interim president, and today trucks arrived in Mekelle carrying aid from Oromia. Other regions should also send aid to Tigray. If you remember, I have been saying that for the last 2 years, when this war broke out, if you remember, I said the regional government should show solidarity with the people of Tigray, not with the government, but the people of Tigray. They should help the people of Tigray by sending aid, by helping Tigrayans outside Tigray, but Tigrayans should not be marginalized. That is what I have been saying for the last 2 years. We don't know what is at the back of these moves from Oromia. Is Oromia hoping to get Tigray on its side in the political confrontation against Amharas, or is it a gesture of goodwill? Oromia wants to rebuild Tigray. Obviously, Oromia region has planned something. It wants to cement an alliance with Tigray. Oromia Tigray is new political reality. Oromia Tigray alliance with Oromia senior partner, Tigray junior partner is the new political reality in Ethiopia. That is how I see it. Amharas are trying to find new partners. but they were trying to find partners outside Ethiopia. That strategy did not work, it seems so far. Lastly, viewers, Eritreans are entering their country from Sudan. Eritreans are in neighboring countries. You know that they're refugees. They fled the country for better economic opportunities due to problems in their country. And they used to enter Sudan, Ethiopia, and their ultimate target would be Europe, etc. And there are tens of thousands in Sudan and in Ethiopia, and some could be living there legally as well. Now, when war has broken out in Sudan, Eritreans are returning to their country. Pictures are being shared by pro-Eritrean government activists. They say Eritrean government is helping evacuation of citizens from Sudan. You can see the pictures on your screen. Now, I want to say a few words. Firstly, I am not aware of any evacuation mission started by Eritrean government in Sudan. I know several countries have evacuated their citizens. Middle Eastern countries, other Asian countries, European countries, they have launched evacuation missions involving helicopters, planes, buses, etc. Even Nigeria evacuated its staff from Khartoum. I am not aware of any evacuation mission which has been launched by Eritrean government in Sudan. So, if anyone has information, please share with me. People are fleeing to wherever they can. I mean, tens of thousands have reached the Sudan-Egypt border on their own. They want to flee the area of conflict. They want to enter a neighboring country. Thousands are entering Gedaref and Kassala, Eritrea Sudan border, Ethiopia Sudan border. They want to flee the conflict. They want to enter neighboring countries. Does it mean that Ethiopia and Eritrea, they have started evacuation of their citizens from Sudan? No. I personally think these people who are entering Ethiopia, Ethiopians who are entering Eritrea, they managed to reach the border on their own. Like people are, they have managed to reach Sudan, Egypt border, 800 kilometers away from Khartoum. So these distances are being covered by people on their own. The governments are not doing enough. If they are doing, it is not enough. So that is why Eritrean, and these Eritreans, by the way, some of them fled Eritrea because of persecution, because of lack of economic opportunities, and they are now returning to the place they fled. It's very unfortunate that these people will have to go through what they went through when they tried to flee, because obviously sooner or later they'll try to leave the country once again. But if situation does not improve in Sudan, in Ethiopia, these people will have to be in Eritrea. And Ethiopians as well. Tens of thousands fled the war in Ethiopia, in Sudan. Now they'll have to return. And other Ethiopians, not refugees, they're returning to. I think 8 casualties of Ethiopians have been confirmed so far by Ethiopian embassy in Sudan. 8 casualties in and near Khartoum. So any evacuation mission started by Ethiopian government there, I am not aware of any such operations launched by Eritrean and Ethiopian governments in Sudan. If anyone has information, do share with me. Thank you for watching.